Hello Year 3 and welcome back to Guided Reading. We are on day 4, which means we are going to be looking at our big question today. So what I would like you to do is get out your reading, whether that's on the computer, and the link is there on your home learning worksheet, or you could have it printed out. Either way, we've read it 3 times now, so we should be very familiar with this section of the text. When you have done that, press play and I will be here with your do now. So for your do now, you have got a series of events that have happened in the text so far. Ignore that date's wrong. But what I would like you to do is number those events from 1 to 5. So we have got everyone helped to prepare the tables for art, Bill walked away from Malcolm, Layla dragged the box of heavy paints from the cupboard, only pink paint was found in the box, and Bill offered Malcolm the football for his Wumpy Chew. But we know the Wumpy Chew actually is a sweet and not a creature like Bill initially thought. So what I would like you to do is pause the video now and put those in order from 1 to 5. I always find it really useful to label the first event with 1 and label the last event with 5, and then try to fill in the ones in the middle. So press pause because I'm going to go straight into the answers, so don't spoil it for yourselves. So number 1, the first event that happened is Bill offered Malcolm, or Martin, actually, I'm not quite sure if that's the right name, but Bill offered Malcolm or Martin the football for his Wumpy Chew. And then after that, the second event is that Bill walks away. The third event, they're back in the classroom and everyone is helping to prepare the tables for art. Layla drags the box of heavy paints from the cupboard is the fourth event. And then the last event is only pink paint is found in the box. So your event should have gone in the order of 3, 2, 4, 5 and 1. Okay, so our big question today is, did Bill get support from his classmates as a girl? So we know that various things have happened to Bill since he's woken up as a girl. He's gone into school, people haven't noticed, but he's getting into a bit of difficulty. So his teachers aren't treating him as fairly as he would like. So remember the handwriting incident. And then he is also having issues in the playground, notably with the football and the boys playing with the football in the pitch. And that is the kind of thing we're going to be thinking about in answer to this question. When he goes through these difficulties, do his classmates support him, meaning are they friendly and kind and make him feel better, or not? So I have two sides of the argument. I have, yes, Bill did get support, and no, Bill did not get support. So what I would like you to do is to pause the video and take as long as you need, but have a think of some ideas yourself before I go through mine. If you're really unsure, you can carry on watching, and hopefully this will boost your ideas a little bit. So my first point for Bill did get support is the girls came to watch his talk with Martin, which was supportive. So the fact that the girls watch Bill interact with Martin over the football perhaps means that they could possibly have been watching to see how things turned out, and if things took a turn for the worse, maybe they would be on hand to go and get some help from a teacher. So maybe we could interpret, so we can explain their actions as being supportive. Secondly, maybe Martin was being supportive in that he doesn't get into a real fight with Bill, but he does a fair deal with him. He exchanges, so he swaps the football for the Wumpy Chew. He doesn't have to do that, so maybe that's quite a nice thing that he did, and he's doing so because he's being a supportive friend. Now, those were the only ideas I came up with for Bill did get support, so maybe that makes me think that I'm probably more on the side of Bill didn't get support. So let's go through my answers for that. I have flipped over my first point and said actually maybe the girls weren't being supportive because they didn't actually come very close to Bill or even go into the pitch. They only stand at the edges, so not really as helpful as Bill probably would have liked. My second point, Martin and the boys didn't support Bill's wish to have the football. They didn't really get into a fight, but they did put up a bit of resistance, and maybe that shows that they weren't being as supportive as we could have hoped for. And then lastly, again, I have flipped the point on its head about Martin being fair and supportive in swapping the football for Wumpy Chew. Maybe he just made that deal because he wanted to get Bill off of the playground. And I know this because he looks at the clock. So that gives me the idea that perhaps he was aware of how little time he had and he just wanted to get rid of Bill. So hopefully that's boosted your thinking a little bit. So I've given you some sentence starters here to start off start off your answer. So you could start off your answer with any of these or something similar, but this will give your answer a bit of structure, because remember, this isn't just a one sentence answer. You're going to write maybe 3, 4, even 5 if you really want to challenge yourself. So my sentence starters I've got are "in my opinion," or "I agree with the fact that Bill's friends were supportive," and so on. "I disagree with the fact that Bill's friends were supportive." "I believe," or "I think," or in answer to the question, "Were Bill's friends supportive?" "I think," and then you can start writing your ideas. Now, as you are writing your ideas, you can then give some evidence. So once you've made your point, as in, "I don't think they were supportive because the girls didn't go into the pitch, they just stood at the edges," you can then build on that point by getting some evidence from the text. So you could use a sentence such as "I think this because," or "evidence from the text to support this is," or "I know this because in the text." And then if you want to add even more, I've got some words in blue here that you could use. Additionally, moreover, furthermore, secondly, thirdly, my next point is. Again, these are all things that you've done in class, so they shouldn't be too unfamiliar. But if you want to take a moment to note any of those down, rewind the video, make some notes. I, however, am going to show you how I would use all of this to structure my own answer. So I'm just going to show you how I would write that down. So I've written my, can you see that? Yeah, I've written my big question down. Did Bill get support from his classmates as a girl? Now, I'm going to start with "in my opinion." So I've already made a starter. In my opinion, and thinking back to the points, I remember I said I was probably more on the side of he didn't get support. So in my opinion, I disagree. And also, I'm going to be looking for some really nice handwriting in your answers that you upload to Seesaw. In my opinion, I disagree that, capital letter for Bill, Bill received support is there, so I can just copy that. Support from his classmates, full stop. And then I'm going to give evidence from the text. So my first I'm going to do is write my first point. So I know this because is a great conjunction. It tells me why. I know this because when he confronts means to go up to somebody and not have an argument, but try and get the truth out of them, or try to get them to behave in a way better than they are. He confronts Martin, capital for Martin, over the ball. I'm going to say Martin doesn't seem to take him very seriously. Doesn't. Now that's going to be contraction here. Drop the O, replace it with an apostrophe. I know this because when he confronts Martin over the ball, Martin doesn't take him seriously. I might say evidence from the text is that he looks at the clock and makes a quick swap with the Wumpy Chew. Now, if I was to make a second point, then I can use one of those words I had in blues. I might go secondly, as in my second point. Secondly, and then I could add in my second point. Now, I'm not going to do it all for you, but let's read what I've got so far. In my opinion, I disagree that Bill received support from his classmates. I know this because when he confronts Martin over the ball, Martin doesn't take him seriously. Evidence from the text is that he looks at the clock and makes a quick swap with the 1p tube. Secondly, and then maybe I can make a point about the girls not being very supportive of him. So hopefully that's helpful for you, and you can see now what kind of sentence structures we're expecting when you write the big question. Some of you made a really great effort last time, but we only got a sentence or two from you. This is a chance to really challenge your thinking and write a little bit more. So keep the text handy for you, and I look forward to seeing what you upload to Cecil.